Mount Juliet. Stay with us.
Welcome to Mount Juliet High School and the start of another high school football season. Tonight, the Battle of Wilson County, Lebanon versus Mount Juliet. Hello, everybody. I'm Andy Reed. I'll have the play-by-play of today's game. Handling the camera work, Richard Donnell and Jeff Noakes. Today's ball game, sponsored by Liberty State Bank, by Wilson Farmers Co-op, by Chums, Save-A-Lot, First Bank and Trust, Fashion Boutique, and by Tennessee Telephone. Lebanon comes in off of a 9-2 season a year ago. The Blue Devils have won the last two in this series since Mark Medley took over 2 years ago by scores of 19-0 and 28-0. So Mount Juliet looking to score for the first time against a Mark Medley, Ron Marshall coached defense. Mount Juliet does come in with an experienced quarterback, senior Brent Lawrence, who passed for 1,000 yards a year ago. But the Golden Bears devastated by the loss of co-captain senior fullback Jarrett Buba in a scrimmage against Riverdale 3 weeks ago. Buba, who fractured an ankle and also broke a tibia bone. So you can see him there on crutches at about the 20 or about the 15-yard line. He will be lost for the season. And Jerry Flatt has had to shuffle about 4 different players to replace him. Joey Reese, who is expected to be the tailback, has moved up to fullback, with sophomore Tony Bradley getting his first varsity action as a starter at tailback. Bradley, very impressive with the freshman team a year ago, but how he handles to District 9 AAA competition remains to be seen. Defensively, the loss of Buba has meant that Brad Raines, Mount Juliet's top lineman, has been moved to linebacker. Raines, a senior, stands 6'3", weighs 220 pounds, talking to Jerry Flatty, who feels that Raines, had he been playing linebacker all along, would have been an outstanding linebacker by this point. But the Bears, blessed with good linebacking in recent years, Raines has been playing along the defensive line, but now necessitated by injury, Raines at linebacker. Mount Juliet will have a front four, Tony Thompson and Nick Schaefer on the defensive tackles, and Mickey Haslett at nose guard. So Lebanon versus Mount Juliet. We'll be back in just a moment with the opening kickoff and the starting lineups. Will receive the football to start the game. Kicking off for Mount Juliet will be number 26, Patrick McFall, a 5'8", 150-pound sophomore. All he does is kick. Back deep for Lebanon, number 33, Juane Jennings, back at his own 6. The visiting stands are packed. In fact, so packed there are a few Lebanon fans on the home side of the field. The kick is away. Rod Crutchfield takes it at the 21. Slips and is across the 30 to about the 37-yard line. And on the tackle, number 52, Jonathan Davis. So Lebanon on offense, and almost a brand-new offense. Jim Brindley takes the helm at quarterback, a junior, taking over for the graduated Tony Eckler. Rod Crutchfield is the fullback, one of 3 returning starters from a year ago from either side of the football. Juane Jennings, number 33, will be the tailback. Slot back, number 5, Cyrus Hancock. Kevin Huddleston's number 45. He's at split end. The tight end, one of the tight ends, number 86, Richard Moscardelli. 1st and 10, Lebanon from the Devil 37. Jim Brindley looking over the Mount Juliet defense. They'll do that. They'll change a lot at the line of scrimmage. Give us to the fullback. Crutchfield goes straight ahead, fights his way to the 40-yard line. A host of Bear tacklers there, including number 71, Nick Schaefer. The front wall for Lebanon, anchored by number 66, Norman Summers at center, a senior, one of the few returning starters. Flanking him at guard will be number 68, Chris O'Neill, and number 54, Brian Harvey. The tackles, number 75, Jeff Vaught, and number 77, Jody Ambrewster. Ambrewster, a year ago, playing on defense, will play both ways this year. There goes number 62, Tony Thompson, getting some help with his headgear from the official. Juane Jennings met behind the line of scrimmage. Number 82, Eric Travis, in there, a loss of 1 yard back to the 39. Bring up about a 3rd down and 9. The defensive front for Mount Juliet at defensive ends, number 12, Mike Faust, and number 50, Mike Blasingem. The tackles, number 62, Tony Thompson, and number 71, Nick Schaefer. And the nose guard is number 66, Mickey Haslett. 3rd down, 9. Jim Brindley, in his first passing situation, he threw only one time in 2 quarters last week at Gallatin in the Jamboree. He throws, and a little too far out in front of Clay Bueller. Was lined up that time in a slot. That will bring up a 4th down. The ball at the Lebanon 39, 4th down and 9. Jim Brindley is the punter. Kick is away. Catch made at the 27 and cut down at the 30 with the stop. Number 28, Marcus Stewart. On the return, number 16, Jason Wright. So the Mount Juliet offense comes out. Brent Lawrence leads the way. Number 7, a senior returning starter. The fullback is Joey Reese as he moves up from tailback as Jarrett Buba out for the season with a broken leg. The tailback, number 5, Tony Bradley, a sophomore. Flanker, number 16, Jason Wright. Garrick Smith, number 10, a split end. Sometimes he'll line up tight, and the other tight end, number 12, Mike Faust. 1st down and 10, Mountain Juliet from the Golden Bear 30. Give is to the tailback, Bradley, and he is met by Jody Ambruster, number 77. The offensive front for Mountain Juliet. The center is number 50, Mike Blasingame. The guards, number 66, Mickey Haslett, and number 51, Marcus Tibbs. The tackles, number 62, Tony Thompson, and number 64, Brad Raines. The ball at about the 32, 2nd down and a long 9. Just under 9 minutes to play in the first quarter. No score. Mountain Juliet with its first possession of the evening. Lebanon went 3 down and out. Give us to Bradley. Runs over some tacklers out to the 35. On the defense for Lebanon, number 76, Kevin Douglas. And let's meet the Lebanon defensive unit. Richard Moscardelli and Sonny Warmoth are the defensive ends. Warmoth, a senior but playing football for the first time since he broke his hand as a freshman. The tackles, number 76, Kevin Douglas, and number 77, Jody Ambruster, one of the few returning starters. And the nose tackle is number 35, Dwayne C. 3rd down, 5. Lawrence, draw to Bradley. Met well behind the line of scrimmage. 36, Sonny Warmoth, shot to gap. Nails him way back at the 28. Bring up a 4th down and long. Punting for Mountain Juliet will be Patrick McFall. As we said, he handles all kicking situations, place kicking and punting. Going back for Lebanon, Sonny Warmoth, number 36, and number 5, Cyrus Hancock. Hancock returned a punt against Beach last week, 85 yards in the Jamboree at Gallatin. So he is dangerous. McFall with a kick. Angles it away from Hancock. Warmoth from about the 30. Across the 40 to the 42. And on the stop for Mountain Juliet, number 76, Greg Simmons. So Lebanon with its first offensive possession. Let's round up the Mountain Juliet defense. We met the defensive line. The linebackers, number 64, Brad Raines. He replaces Garrett Buba. Raines moving back from the line. And his partner in linebacker, number 51, Marcus Tibbs. Tony Bradley and Jason Beavers are the cornerbacks. Joey Reese, number 19, is the strong safety. Jason Wright, number 16, is the free safety. 1st down and 10 Blue Devils from the Lebanon 42. 2nd Lebanon possession. Neither team with a 1st down yet. Pitch, Juan A. Jennings, left side, across the 45 in open field, Mount Juliet territory. Knocked out of bounds at the 25, tackle made by Tony Bradley, the cornerback. They'll mark the ball at the Mount Juliet 24. Lebanon's running game figures to be very strong. The offensive line looked very good last week at Gallatin. The running game behind Juan A. Jennings and Rod Crutchfield very strong. The passing game still suspect, of course. That was a strong suit of Lebanon a year ago with Tony Eckler throwing the bombs to Raymond Shockley and Wayne Rollins. Hancock has the speed, but whether or not they can hook up on the long bomb remains to be seen. 1st down and 10 at the 24. And a flag is thrown. This will probably be a delay of game. Every official with a yellow handkerchief released at that time. The clock is stopped with 6.5 minutes to play. Now it keeps on rolling, and it shouldn't be. It's 6:25 and rolling, but every flag down, it should be a dead ball. It is against the Lebanon Blue Devils, so back them up 5. And the clock continues to run. Well, this is the season opener. I don't know if the officials realize it or not. The officials are keeping control of the time on the field. They are controlling the clock. Tommy Martin in the press box can reset it, but I don't know. When they threw the flag, he just forgot to stop the clock. And we're inside 6 minutes to play in the first quarter. This may or may not have loomed big later on. First down and 15 for Lebanon. Brindley pitches to Jennings, who wasn't expecting it, and there's a fight for the football. And they're going to keep it with Lebanon. Jennings and a Mount Juliet player still fighting for it. And try to get a number. It's 65, I believe. There is no 65. Might be 66, Mickey Hazlitt. It is Hazlitt. Lost back to the 32. Second down, about 17 to go. Clock down to 5:08 to play. Brindley rolling right. He's going to throw. Has Warmoth at the 10. Brought down at about the 8. No, now an incomplete pass. Warmoth dropped it on the coverage. Number 5, Tony Bradley. Looked like Warmoth had it, and Bradley there knocked it loose. In case you're wondering, the last 2 years, Mark Medley has been platooning at one specific offensive position. Last year is the slot back with Rick Johnson. And somebody else that would run in the plays every play. This year he's going to alternate at tight end and other receivers. It's not going to be one position.